CoryxKenshin just had huge allegations dropped on him on both TikTok and Twitter. These allegations coming from a girl on TikTok known as Panda Ninja XX. These allegations being that CoryxKenshin was abusive toward her and cheated on her. She came out with these allegations yesterday by using the bacon avocado trend. Here's some examples of the trend so you can get a gist of what it is.
Bacon avocado. But I would have never, ever done that to you.
Bacon avocado.
I'm tired of only being good enough until they find someone better.
Bacon avocado.
I dated Cory Kenshin. And he hurt me really bad. And I'm not the only one.
I think it is very weird to come out with allegations in this way, but hey, that could just be me. She would also separate these allegations in 3 parts, which I also don't agree with, because I think you would want to get everything out on the table first. But let's take a look at her claims. Dear CoryxKenshin, I didn't want to do this, but I don't owe you my silence anymore. There's no clean way to start this, just that familiar weight in my chest while the world kept applauding someone who never showed up for me. I was never part of your world publicly. You made sure I stayed close, just far enough to be invisible. Your followers eat up the whole man of faith image you push, but faith without basic decency isn't faith. It's branding. You talk about devotion, but act like hurting people in private doesn't count. That's not devotion. That's hypocrisy. You fooled a lot of people, but not me. When I met you, I was at one of the lowest points in my life. I was still healing, still trying to remember how to love myself after going so long without it. I had all this love and nowhere to put it. And for a moment, your attention made me feel seen, like maybe I wasn't invisible anymore. Even writing this now has me crying so hard, I can barely breathe. The pain still lives in my body like it just happened yesterday. I'm not writing this because I still care, I'm writing this because I've carried too much in silence. You ghosted me, not because you were confused, but to teach me a lesson. You made me feel like I had to shrink just to earn a reply. Every move was calculated, even if I couldn't see it back then. Anytime I tried to speak up, you twisted it into something being wrong with me. And while I sat alone, replying every word, breaking myself apart just trying to make sense of it, they were out here calling you a positive role model. They'll never know how many nights I cried quietly into my pillow, trying to convince myself it wasn't that bad, just so I wouldn't have to admit how deeply it broke me. You never showed up when it mattered. You only came around when it was convenient, when you wanted something, when it was easy. But when I needed care, support, the bare fucking minimum, you vanished. That was your punishment. Silence. Distance. Disappearing like affection was something I had to earn. Like loving you too loudly meant I needed to be put in my place. You treated my mind, my heart, my time like they were things you could just shelve and retrieve whenever it suited you. Like I only existed when you needed to feel wanted. You made sure your absence cut deeper than your presence ever comforted. And the worst part, that kind of damage takes effort, so congratulations. And then came the subtle jabs. You once asked if I wanted to know how much you made. I said no because I didn't care. I've never depended on anyone. I've worked hard my whole life and made my own money. But still, you made me feel small for the job I had, like I was a disappointment just for not living up to your standards. I never asked for your money, your platform, your help, any of it. I didn't want what you had, I just wanted to be treated like I mattered, like a human fucking being. But even that felt like too much for you. It probably bothered you that I wasn't impressed, that I didn't melt your... It probably bothered you that I wasn't impressed, that I didn't melt for your image, your ego, your self-importance, that I saw right through you and still gave you the chance to be real. But that version of you, the one who could actually care, he never fucking existed. And then came your one grand fucking gesture. Flowers, candy, a teddy bear, and a card. The first thing you ever bothered to give me. The last thing that felt remotely real. The card said, Nami, the way I feel about you is real. You are so wonderful, so gentle and kind, not to mention sexy. Ahem. I miss you, and hope this puts a big ol' smile on that pretty face. When you called that night and poured out a heart-to-heart, said, I've made a lot of mistakes, but you were never one of them. I fucking cried, because even after everything, I still wanted to believe you were capable of being good to me. And then the next day, someone told me they saw you in California with another girl. I already knew where you were going, you told me that part, but you never said who you were going with, so I assumed it was your family. All I did was ask calmly, the way anyone seeing someone would. said. I'm not the type to pry or get jealous over nothing. But when the details don't add up, I pay attention. But you snapped at me. You said it was your sister, got defensive. I wasn't accusing you of shit. I just wanted the truth. But your reaction said everything, even if it really was your sister. She says she wasn't accusatory of asking him this, but I think it's pretty clear that you were kind of implying that he was cheating, or you were implying that you thought it was a possibility that he was cheating. So I would not blame Cory for getting defensive over this, if it did really happen. But there's not much of substance in the first part of her allegations, so we're gonna move on to the second part. She would then show screenshots that were supposedly Cory and her on Xbox, which I can confirm Cory does have an account under this name, because his main account on Xbox is friends with this one. But it's not confirmed that these screenshots are real. An easy way that she could have fixed this is by screen recording the conversation on Xbox. And if he deleted shit, she could easily show that the messages are dated and that she isn't just talking to herself and there was a clear conversation prior that he was trying to hide. But for some reason, she doesn't do this. That could be because she didn't think of it, or worst case scenario, she cannot use the full screen recording because it doesn't fit her narrative, because it's out of context. Or the obvious, the screenshots can be fake. Another thing I want to point out is the screenshots were either taken in real time or were faked. But let's look at one of the screenshots in particular. After what is allegedly Cory asked to hook up, she brings up being abused by someone else. She says, the difference between you and I, though, is that I don't do it with just anyone because I was used. I'm not saying that for you to feel bad or whatever, but for you to understand. He says, I know you told me that. I didn't know I got lumped into that category with the person that did that. Which she then later on says, do you hear yourself? You knew I'd survived SA. You knew how hard it was to feel safe in my own body, and you used that as leverage just to remind me how far you'd gotten. Threw it in my face like I should be flattered. When I pushed back, you got defensive. I don't know why I'm lumped into that category. Fuck you, you put yourself there. So although her claim is that he was emotionally abusive, she compares him to a assaulter. This is literally just psycho shit. You are completely fucking reckless and are acting on straight emotion, and that's it. This is not okay. And this isn't even the end of the insane claims she decides to make. Then you had the nerve to say, I loved you back then, I just didn't have my shit together. Really? You had the money, the platform, the fans, the house, the car, everything. You had every tool to be a decent human being, and you still chose to be careless with someone you claim to love. I guess people that are rich and have all these things can't have mental health problems, and they can't make mistakes. And I guess money, a platform, fans, and a house and a car make you a good person. You have to be a good person if you have all that. Those quote-unquote tools that you're talking about mean literally nothing. That does not define someone as a good person. That literally does not help them to become better. Working on yourself is what makes you better. The next thing I want to talk about is the fact she accused Cory of making fun of her for being diagnosed with cancer. This screenshot has nothing tied back to Cory. For all we know, this could be a whole different person. And again, just like the other screenshots, there's no full context. Another allegation she would throw out is that Cory would use people to manipulate situations like this, and that he would have people stalk her page to make sure that she wasn't speaking out. Let's have a look at what she had to say and what evidence she has. And of course, there was N. She found me through your Xbox friends list, checked my profile, saw my IG in the bio, and followed me. But I didn't know that yet. So I asked, oh, you're a fan of Cory? She said, yeah. I said, I'm not. She followed up with, why? It came off like a curious question. Like maybe she knew more than she was letting on, but I wasn't about to assume. So I kept it short. We dated. It didn't really work out. I didn't realize how she even found me until later. After that post and our conversation, something fell off. So I did some digging and saw she was following you on Xbox. That's when it clicked. She must have found me through Xbox. I don't know how many others she's done that with. At the time, she hadn't done anything weird. She seemed nice, just another follower showing support. We had light conversations, nothing alarming. She liked some posts, messaged me here and there. And when you're a creator, that kind of thing happens all the time. So I didn't overthink it, but the vibe was off. Like she was watching more than connecting. I didn't have proof, just a gut feeling, and I should have listened to it because this wasn't new behavior and had done this before. Turns out she had a reputation in your space, though I didn't know that then. I was still assuming someone, especially you, might step in and shut the chaos down. Basically what she's claiming here is that this N person would contact people that are going to make allegations on Cory or have had a past with Cory, and how she's saying things makes it seem very accusatory, especially with what I'm going to talk about in a second. If you don't think she's implying that Cory sent these people after her or after others, then that's okay. I just personally feel like how she's saying it and wording things seems like she's making an accusation. You just watched it unfold like it had nothing to do with you. And not long after that, one of your close friends, Brandon, someone who had never acknowledged me, suddenly started watching my IG stories like clockwork. Like he was assigned. Like you were waiting to see if I'd finally speak. There is no evidence of this. This is just schizo rambling at this point. You are spurging. I have had to cut out so much things from their testimony because how much they just ramble on about stuff that doesn't matter. There is no evidence to say that Cory was mentally or emotionally abusive to this girl, or any girl for that matter, because she claims there's multiple victims. I'm not going to sit here and call her a liar, but I'm also not going to sit here and call Cory emotionally abusive based off of an ex's testimony. The only evidence that we have is that they were together. People have also been trying to use this one video of her and him together as like a gotcha, but that can be easily chopped up as edgy humor. We do not know what their relationship was like. We do not know how they would joke together, so do not use this. This is not evidence.
I'm still on.
I'm still on.
Then I woke up again and it was off.
Did you watch me sleep?
Hmm?
Did you watch me sleep?
Yeah, I actually did something to you while you were asleep too.
What?
I'm sorry. I just got this fetish that I do. You know.
What
I
for?
didn't hurt you. You're good, right?
What'd you do, Cory?
Just don't worry about it.
Cory?
Good.
Cory, what did you do?
Do nothing. Look, this camera out of my face. I didn't do anything.
He did something, and I'm gonna find out on the next episode of
Dragon Ball Z. Where you going with this?
Anyways, I think that's about it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, like and subscribe, and you could even become a channel member if you want some perks. Peace.